Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, Kabaka Pyramid is one artist who started as a sound man. He started on a sound system. Ladies and gentlemen, between the ages of, let's say, 15, 16, 17, 18, the man was already on a sound system. So what exactly do you expect? He knows all the antics. You understand me? He is a versatile artist. He does rap, sing everything. Call him all in one. You know what I mean? I describe him as, that kind of heavyweight lyricist. Ladies and gentlemen, he was born Cameron Salmon. And trust me, we will go on the line and start reasoning with Kabaka Pyramid this afternoon on Asaase Radio. Kabaka.
Easy.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, man, everything good. What about yourself?
Yeah, man, there I give thanks for life, Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, man, everything good, It's kind of sunny in Ghana. It's kind of sunny in Ghana. Everything is all right. Everything blessed. What about your end?
Yeah, I'm a good man. Actually, there in Miami. I go Jamaica in a second. I forgot airport after the interview, but it crazy rain I fall over there right now.
Oh, wow. Kabaka Pyramid, thanks so much for your time and space this afternoon on Asaase Radio.
Easy.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man. Glad to be here,
All right. So, Baka, let's start it in this particular way. I know you are an artist who started, on a sound system. You understand me? But first and foremost, how was it like you growing up in Jamaica?
I mean, I had a pretty good childhood. I can't complain. We have a whole heap of brethren and we just love music from a young. We go to school and we play a whole heap of sports and thing. And then after school now is when the music vibes start. You know what I mean? And we build up a home studio from early, really for voice dub plate and thing. I remember we was the first sound in our area if I have Cartel and dub plate when Cartel just bust 2001 them time there.
You don't mean
and
it?
Yeah, it was good times them time there,
Which sound was that?
Time Bomb sound.
Time Bomb sound was your sound?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time Bomb. And you were the first to get Cartel on dub plate.
Yeah, in our area. Cause you don't know Cartel was from Portmore, so I figure the sound them over there did have him on dub. But in a Kingston 6 and Uptown, which part we was the first we have Cartel on dub.
Wow.
Easy.
On a Time Bomb sound.
Yeah, man.
Well, so how was it like? In terms of running the sound, how many were you on the sound? What exactly was your role on the sound?
So me, me would talk on the mic and then me would do some of the behind the scenes work, like build the remix them and put the vocals them over the hip hop rhythm them and them kind of style,
Oh wow. All right. So did Time Bomb engage in any clash or anything of a sort?
Yeah, 1 and 2 clash, 1 and 2 major. It was still just was just some little you doing the thing, So we used to play at, house parties and them kind of thing that we used to keep 1 and 2 events for ourselves. But we never do no whole heap of major clashing,
Okay, all right. So, Kabaka, we are live across the whole of Ghana because in Accra we are live on 99.5. In Kumasi we are live on 98.5. In Cape Coast Central region we are live on 100.3. And in the northern region we're live on 99.7. So there are certain things I know already, but I need to ask again. You understand me? So that all these people around or across the whole, Ghana and also across the continent will understand certain things properly.
Yeah.
All right. So right now in terms of you being on the sound system, you know, how was the formation of Reggae Revival crew, like you and your peers? You on a sound system at a particular tender age, you and your friends, and at the same time, you kind of linking up, you know, Chronics, you know, Janai, Lila Ike, and among others, you know, to form Reggae Revival. How was the formation like? Protege and all that?
Yeah, well, this is years later we're talking about. When I had my son, you know, this is like 2002, 2003, 2001, them time. But I would have said the whole revival vibes started around 2010, 2011. I knew Janine from before that through a Rastafari group that we were in. And she kind of took me to Jamnesia. And Jamnesia is where I saw Protege them for the first time, and like, you know, Nomads and Raging Fire and a lot of these bands just performing live. And that's kind of how I got into the whole live music scene. So that's really where the whole revival vibes, it stemmed from it. It stemmed from a kind of, you know, like a live music, you know, thing. So we usually do like small shows, and we usually book up each other regular at the shows them and call each other up on stage, and everybody start to form them bands. Then we start, you know, featuring, you know, doing music with each other. I remember Protege gave me some beats for my first project, you know, and a couple of them were made by Chronics and Teflon, which is Zinc Fence, you know, and that was before I even knew who Chronics was. You know, so it's shortly after that we got to link up and meet in person, and then, you know, we just start make a bag of music together, and just, you know, everything kind of start from there around 2011, you know.
Okay, so I think 3 days ago I was holding reasoning with Billy Mystic of Mystic Revealers, and Billy Mystic was telling me that, yo, Lagazee, I see you're going to talk to Kabaka Pyramid. Just ask him about Japmanesia, and lo and behold, you just mentioned it. So I'm like, all right, Billy Mystic was right. He said, yo, this is set in my yard, and just to give strength to, you know, the rising artists. But, you know, I would wish something of a sort would kind of happen in Ghana like this, that we have some of the elders setting up this kind of things for artists to go there and sharpen their skills and all that. You know,
yeah, for sure. It's a good thing. It wasn't necessary for we. A lot of us was just starting out in terms of live music, and that's exactly where Jamnesia was. You go there to learn the craft of it and to sharpen up your skills and all of them things. That's really what Jamnesia was for real. So Billy Mystic 100% right.
All right. We give thanks. But the issue to do with Reggae Revival, you know, somebody might say, reggae is not dead, so where from the revival aspect?
Yeah, well, you know, you can't revive something where it's dead. You know, you if something kind of slow down a little bit, you can revive it. You know, like if a plant maybe start to wither just a little bit, and then you give some water now. So every few years, you know, you have to kind of water the roots them, and you know, allow new plants to spring up. So that's kind of what we were. You know, we was just a refreshing, because a lot of people, especially internationally, because in Jamaica you always have reggae music, but internationally people were saying that not many bands are touch out anymore, or, you know what I mean, like the whole backing band thing they take precedent too. So when them see young artists stepping through with them own bands and really, you know, representing the music a certain way, it did remind them of the 70s, you know, when, you know, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh them would step out with them bands, and then you did have like Burning Spear, and you have, you know, Culture, and all of these artists where would have step out and with big bands and really play the music a certain way. So that you know, it's kind of people gave it a name. It's not we gave it the name, the revival, a certain ways. Like people kind of outside of the music and in and around the music gave it that name, because that's how they felt about it, you know.
Okay, all right. Exactly 60 minutes got into the to on Asaase Radio, and we're having one-on-one with Kabaka Pyramid.
Zing, Asaase Radio.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I will jump straight into the album, The Calling, and then afterwards we'll discuss other matters. Now, Kabaka, why the Calling album? Why the album title The Calling? Who is calling you?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a calling. I feel like we are all vessels and vehicles of spirit, and the Most High is who kind of set the program for I and I. So I feel like we're all called upon by the Most High to really serve some purpose in the life that we've been given. So my calling is really to spread certain message and awaken the masses through music. So that's really what the calling is about, and the title track speaks to it, and especially from a Rastafari perspective. The mission of Rastafari and the essence of Rastafari calls upon youths to really step forward and be that light and shine that light for humanity. So we're really calling upon and we are calling upon the next younger generation as well to kind of step up into that role and really represent the thing culture. I mean, represent the thing, properly. We represent the culture to a certain high degree, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So let's go into the tracks. We have 14 tracks on the album with one bonus track, making it 15 tracks on the album. And then the first track on the album is Mystic Man. Can you tell us a bit about Mystic Man and what exactly inspired that?
Well, it's as a record that we sampled from Peter Tosh, who is one of my major influences. And it's actually my favorite song that he did. So, Gang actually took the song and arranged it up and gave it a new feel and a new twist on it, and it's really a perfect song to kind of introduce myself. I see myself, Peter Tosh, as a Mystic Man, and, we spiritual people. So, we just use that song to kind of introduce the album and tell people about, me and what makes me unique and special,
All right. But before I even step further in the track listening and all that, the linking up with Junior Gong or Damian Marley, how did that happen? Because Damian Marley is an artist, and yourself, you're also an artist. So an artist producing an artist in Ghana here is kind of not easy at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always there are problems and all that. But how did that happen between you and Junior Gong?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in Jamaica it's not so uncommon, but he wanted to step out more as a producer around 2014, them time 2013, when he did like Wayne Marshall's album through the Ghetto Youth label. And then now he had a song on Wayne Marshall album that he wanted to juggle the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent me the rhythm, and that's when I wrote Well Done. And then, I fly up to Miami when he was mixing it in his studio, and we just kind of connected on a certain level. And yeah, that is kind of when we really kick off the thing on a level, and he expressed that he wanted to produce a project for me, and him like what I was doing, him like how my music kind of similar to his in terms of influenced by, hip hop and dancehall, but it's still reggae music, it's still Rastafari, it's still music with a message. And that's kind of when we just started making whole heap of music together, and then Contraband dropped in 2018. And then now over the pandemic from 2020, we've been working on The Calling. And this one, he's produced all the tracks on this one, actually. Because I'm really passionate about production. He loves it.
All right. So in few words, how would you describe Junior Gong?
He's somebody that like to, him not really love the limelight and certain thing, but when he need to step into it, he can. but he likes to just be in his own zone and just make music. He work nights, so it's like a graveyard shift, you know, from night till morning.
Wow.
Kind of vibe, and but he's a perfectionist, he's a workaholic. He will make music right throughout the year, you know.
Wow. Wow. All right, let's step on Red, Gold, and Green featuring Damian Marley, track 2. Tell us about it.
Well, it's really a song talking about what is most dear to Rastafari, which is the culture, you know, and how it's expressed through the colors of the flag.
Mm-hmm.
And people see the colors of the flag, and them, some people might not even know what it means,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because them just see the colors and it look nice, and it represents, people think it's Jamaica's colors, or them think it's colors for the Caribbean or whatever, and they use it to market stuff and thing. But we wanted to show people the significance of it from a Rastafari perspective, about the Ethiopian flag and His Majesty, and you know what I mean, and just really represent it, but in a way that everybody can listen and everybody can love it. So I feel that song really is a universal kind of vibe too, you know.
All right. Let's move on to the track 3, Make Things Work.
Yeah, Make Things Work is, you know, it's a heavy reggae rhythm, you know, live rhythm. It's one of the things I love about it, have live drums, and, you know, just talking about, you know, being on the grind and making it work, you know, making the best of your situation, no matter what situation you're in, you know, and yeah, that's really what it's about.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, 23 going into the R2 here on Asaase Radio.
Easy.
On the show Yard Settings with myself, King Lagazee, I was talking to Kabaka Pyramid about his brand new album, which is, you know, slated to be released on the 30th of September. And trust me, I had the privilege to jump on the listening section. So, you know, I all what he's saying, it's kind of ringing back in my ears. You understand me? We were just some few people, you understand, about 26 people on worldwide, you know, listening to the songs, and trust me, oh God, I don't know, I can't wait for the album to be released officially, you know, for us to have it and start beating it on the radio for the item to know.
Zing, Asaase Radio.
So let's talk about Grateful featuring Jamere Morgan.
Yeah, Jamir is a great vocalist, and him really bring freshness to the album. You know, both the song Grateful and also a song called Energy later down in the album. And Grateful is just really about, you know, what the name says, being grateful, being thankful for everything that we have. But, you know, we also sampled one of those old-time soul records and kind of gave it that almost like a Jay-Z, Kanye kind of production, you know, but then it's switching to like a more modern, almost trap vibe for the verse, you know, so it's a unique type of production style, but we're just talking about being thankful for everything that we have, man. It's a very lyrical song, you know, the verse them for sure.
Yeah. So I was thinking, why Jamere? Because you featured him on 2 of the songs on the album. Jamere alone.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's just a talented vocalist, and he's you know, him in the area, him always around the studio too. Him move forward and just vibe. And when we have good artists in the studio and them vocal performances at that level, you know, it's like he's a part of the family certain way. You know, it's the same with Black Amai and Answelly. Black Amai is on Mary Jane, which is a herb song. You know, my band played that rhythm live. You know, and it's just a joy for being in session with them, man. Yeah, like we could have get other artists to maybe sing these songs, but you know, if they them sound good and we can give them a platform to, you know what I mean, for step into the limelight as well, then you know we feel good about it. Same with Answelly, Life is Everything. We just talk about life and, you know, just the blessing of having life. You know, I really love that record too. It have like some Latin guitar kind of vibes on it where Ali play in the studio, and yeah, it's like every song bring a different thing. Even Stand Up for Something which is the next track 5, features a super talented songwriter that many people don't even know is she write the song with like Shensi and Megan Thee Stallion. And she write Lighter with Taurus Riley. And a lot of these songs out there, but she's stepping out as an artist now. So when we heard, you know, I flew to LA and wrote the chorus with her. And she's just super talented. Her voice sounds so good. I watch her record herself in her studio. And, we just decided, we'll just keep her vocals on the track because it sounds so, the performance was so well and the tone in her voice and everything. So, you know what I mean? I like the fact that lesser known features are on it. And even Jamari's Gramps Morgan's son. This man toured the world with Morgan Heritage too.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a no-name artist or anything like that. Him do things and support him, you know what I mean?
All right. So, talking about stand-up and talking about Natalie Rice, being part, in terms of...
No, it's not Natalie Rice. It's not Natalie Rice. It's Natalia.
Okay, Natalia,
Yeah. Natalie Rice, I'm a friend, but she's not on this album.
All right. Natalia. All right, Natalia. All right, so talking about she being, part of... writing the song and all that, quite a few times in Ghana, what I've realized is that it's very difficult for, one artist to stand up and say, this man wrote this for me and that one wrote this for me. It's like, everybody want to write them song.
True.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's similar in Jamaica too. Everybody, even when people write songs, they don't tend to talk about that they have a ghostwriter, because some people will feel like, it's less about the artist or take away some of the shine off of the artist. So, it's a thing, everybody have them preference in terms of whether they're willing to talk about it or not. Like for me, I don't mind. I know I write 98% of my songs. So if the 2% of them was somebody writer, we mentioned it, like Safe right here, is Janine wrote most of that song.
Yeah. And
she even wrote a lot of the melodies in the rhythm too.
Okay.
She was over in Tanzania and she called in when we were in the studio on FaceTime. And she was like singing the melody. My band was in the studio and she was singing the melody lines for the guitar. And then, when the track was done now, I sent it to her. She wrote the chorus, the verse, the pre-chorus. Then I added on another verse on it and just sing it. So, I don't mind sharing that limelight with the ones who help to write songs,
Okay. All right. That is good of you, Baka, because a lot of artists, will not accept all these things. And sometimes it kind of make it, kind of difficult, for the industry players, because someone would say, oh, I've done this for this person and the person is not showing me gratitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always respect that kind of fact about you, that anybody...
But the thing about it still, Lagazee, is like songwriting. If you are a songwriter, you really get your credit when people look at the credits, when they look at the publishing things. So it's not, I don't really think people have an obligation to say who wrote the song, because that's not what songwriting is about. It's not about getting the highlight for it in the public. The credits are there. You want to make sure your publishing is there so you're earning off of it.
Okay.
But songwriters, I don't think it's necessarily, you don't have an obligation to mention them. It's good. To me, it's good when you do it, but you don't have a business obligation to do it, I don't think.
All right. Let's step into Rastaman featuring Tifa. And you were saying on the listening the other day that it's full of vibe. It's full of argument.
Yeah.
What kind of argument were you referring to?
Well, the whole settings of the song is a woman saying, Mr. Rastaman, if I give you my heart, don't play with me. Like, but at the same time, she has said, because when you give me the Ital style, Ballet can't compete with, you know what I mean? Ballet can't compete when the Rastaman in the bedroom certain way. And, our thing kind of different. So it's really a song that's a talk about that. And it's a vibe song, as I say. It's one of them songs that where you turn up your ear and you say, wait, what him just say a while ago? You know what I mean? So it's them kind of vibe, and Tipper is good when it comes to lyrics like that too, you know?
All right. You have spoken about Calling already, featuring Stephen Marley, Protege, and also Jesse Royal. 4 the hard way on this one. Yourself,
Yeah.
Stephen Marley, Protege, and Jesse Royal. It's Calling is too packed, full of lyrics.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yeah,
Man. Yeah. You know, it's Rastafari thing. So when we can get the youths them together and get the soldier them together for step on the front line is always a good thing, you know. So we give thanks to the ones them give you that support and step through. It was a nice vibe in studio with everybody together too.
Definitely. And the video too, I'm like, yo, crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Sing Asaase Radio.
All right, so the track 9, Fade Away featuring Buju Banton. And that one too is a sample from Junior Biles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, big tune. Like, you know, when we first did this song, I was working on it and I wrote my verses to it. We knew it's Buju Banton we didn't want to feature upon this song. So we sent it to him and we had to wait a little bit, you know, to get the verses. But we just knew we'd be patient when it come to that one, you know, and once he recorded in Jamaica, and once he sent in the vocals, we even worked on the rhythm some more and kind of changed up the vibe on the rhythm, and that's what you hear now. So big up Gang on the production on this one. You know, him bring out some of the keyboards and drum machine that Steely and Clevie used to use back in the 80s, you know, and get the real sound of them classic rhythm there. You know what I mean?
All right. And then the track 10, Addiction. You said this one was your favorite.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Between that and the Mystic Man and like the bonus track too. You know, these are some of my favorites, but Addiction does have a kind of vibe to me. The rhythm kind of remind me of like Road to Zion with Gang and Nas. And it just kind of have that mood where I love. And then talking about being addicted to some of the things that people may not think about sometimes, like addicted to your phones, to online shopping, you know, to sugar and overeating and them kind of thing. And it's things where a lot of people end up doing over the pandemic, you know what I mean? So it was good for really write about that, and I think it's a song everybody can relate to.
All right. And then the track 11 is Energy featuring Jamera Morgan, and this one is funky.
Yeah, it's a funky vibe. It's a happy vibe, you know, in terms of how it make you feel. It's one of those songs where you don't really have to think too much when it a play, and it's just a vibe song. It's a talk about, you know, want nobody drain your energy. You just want to have a good time, like when you go out and when you're there around your family, and you know, want nobody come disrupt the vibes and the energy. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Big up Jamera with wicked vocals on this one as well.
Definitely. So we've spoken about Mary Jane featuring Black Kamai, and that one, the Rockers band played it, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
All right. And then we have Easy Ride, you know, a sample from Eddie Fitzroy.
Eddie Fitzroy, yeah. This is one of those heavy reggae rhythms and heavy bass line, you know, and this was actually, I think, the first song that we did, you know, when I was in Jamaica and Gang sent me the rhythm for that. And, you know, nobody couldn't travel at the time. It was early in the pandemic in 2020. And recorded the verses in Jamaica and then now, you know what I mean? It was just a vibe. It was just kind of talking about some of the things that was happening, but from like a bigger picture. So it's really, at the end of the day, it's still love we need to solve all the problem them, and we can look to love being the solution with everything, you know what I mean?
All right. And then we have Life is Everything, that one featured on Swelly. You understand me? And then the bonus track, that is Contraband Part 2. Now, I would like to talk about this Contraband Part 2. Yo, I don't know, but here you kind of exhibit your rap style and the bars and all that. Where from that energy?
Well, I mean, me love hip hop music still. I started listening hip hop in like 1996, in Jamaica, and I really just gravitated towards the lyrical MCs. Like the Wu-Tang man, them like Nas, Most Def, Talib Kweli, Big Pun, even Eminem, when Eminem just step out with crazy lyrics and then thing. And yeah, it's them man that we used to study from them times. So that's kind of where a lot of my lyrical vibes come from, just studying hip hop music and very lyrical artists with reggae and dancehall too.
Wow. All right. So back up. We know that on the 30th of this month, the album will be ready. The entire album will be ready, right? Now the mixing and mastering and everything is done, right?
Yeah, man. We just finished and we're submitting all the final tracks in now. But yeah, you don't know. Sometimes with the album, even though you know which songs baby on it, you still have some little changes where you want to make on certain things for perfect them. So that's really where it is. But yeah, the album Buju will be out on Thursday. So by Wednesday we'll be able to send you that so you can start running on radio and all of that.
Okay.
And yeah, man, we're looking forward. I'm excited about the album. I'm excited for this week. I'm gonna be in Jamaica promoting and doing all the interviews and rehearsal for the US tour coming up. I got tour all around US from October 4th to the 13th of November. We have Welcome to Jamaica cruise later in the year. I might keep a show in Jamaica as well. So, there's enough to look forward to. Exciting times.
All right. So it means that Kabaka is going to be busy. So there will be no room for maybe jingles and dub plate and whatsoever for we the DJs and all that.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to do some jingles. I have to try to find some time this week. But definitely the dub them now, we see how the dub them work out. Cause sometimes we like to make song them run, and then now we start do the dub them. Certain people get the dub them, after a little while. So kind of, if we keep the promotion going, we do the dub them, and then that's our next phase of the promotion now.
All right. Kabaka, oh God, everything is all right. Narubawa, you have anything to say?
Well, we just want to big up the whole Ghana family, you know what I mean? And big up to the ones, the Rasta youth, them over in the Volta region, they're up in the hills, the Habisha family. Them do great works over there, for bridge the gap with the people in the diaspora, for step through in Africa and in Ghana. I'm actually an ambassador for their program. So ones can check out Habisha and the whole movement happening over there. Them have a whole eco-friendly village basically built up in the mountains, and it's just a vibe. I haven't been yet. You don't know. I want to reach. I hope Ghana free up them vaccine thing so we can forward through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that there I look forward to.
Ghana free up on
that,
man.
I don't want to get no fake card. I don't want to get no fake card. More just step through natural, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ghana.
Yeah, man.
I think Ghana is free when it comes to this injection and rare. You understand me?
Okay,
yeah, man.
Good. Last time I heard them was still requiring it, all kind of things. So I don't know what the latest.
Yeah, Ghana is kind of free. You just have to prove that you don't have it, and then you can enter.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Definitely.
Sing Asaase Radio.
Yes. Now we step forward.
Accurate. Greetings.
Blessed.
You have a
Hellfire.
you have a tune called "What Is the Meaning of Life."
One
of the biggest lyricist reggae song ever recorded, according to
Give thanks.
True.
Give thanks.
I listened to the song over and over again. What's the motivation behind that particular tune? And do you find answers to those questions you were asking in the song, the meaning of life?
Yeah, definitely. We're talking about the concept of reincarnation and karma and how that's tied into our spiritual evolution and progress. for each one of us. And definitely I feel like these are things that a lot of people know about from even ancient times, but just in modern time we've become very materialistic.
True.
And we only look at things that are physical and material. So people don't think about what happens after you drop the flesh and thing, and the spirit still lives on and still continues its journey. And I believe that we fall back again to learn more things in our next life and in a different setting and in a different environment, so that we can continue to grow and divine beings each time,
Yeah, man. Kabaka Pyramid is my guest on Yacht Settings on Asaase Radio. Kabaka, in wrapping up with you, I know that you want to come to Ghana with the Habesha movement, yeah, man, and all that, and we can't wait, because I've been talking to Kwasi Bonzo all this while, and he's like, he was telling me that, Lagazee, we are trying to put up a show, and Kabaka will come and all that, but I don't know when. But so I want to guarantee to you that the vaccine thing is kind of free. So please step in.
Kind of.
Easy.
All right,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
Well, if you say so, move forward.
Definitely. So Debbie is in the house, and Debbie want to ask a question.
Blessings, Kabaka.
Sure.
How are you doing?
Yeah, man, give thanks. I'm giving thanks,
Yeah, man. Okay, so I know Well Done is one of your biggest songs worldwide.
Yeah.
So well done. Well done.
Give thanks. Thanks.
I personally like this song because, it resonates with me, and it's something that happens everywhere.
True.
Yeah. So why is this
for sure.
song, special to you? Because I felt you on this one. How did you start working on it, and what's the motivation behind it?
Well, as I said, that was really the first song where me and Gang did together.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
produced that record, and that was kind of the start of our whole connection. But as you know, politics has always been a big issue in Jamaica over the years.
Exactly.
And all over the world. And I just felt like everybody could relate to that, and everybody needed, a wake-up call when it comes to politicians, So I chose sarcasm as a way to express it, and, so it's like we congratulate them for doing such a great job of mashing up the place, So, yeah, it's one of them type of song there, and I feel the thing with music, when you're very specific about a certain topic, that's usually when people will really gravitate towards a song,
Exactly. Okay.
All right. We give thanks. Baka, I would like to say thank you so much. I know that you need to catch a flight and all that. I would like to say thank you so much for your time and space. We'll be looking forward for the 30th of September for the album Kalling. But before we leave you, finally,
give thanks.
Your word of advice to the whole of Ghana and Africa.
Yeah, man, just, live in love, support good music, love your neighbor like you love yourself, and just, stay positive, because no matter what's going on, we're going to see a brighter future with humanity. A lot going on in the world, but there's always progress, even within the negativity that we're seeing. And just support good music, hype about good music, like how we hype about the gun lyrics and the slack lyrics and them things. Go up on social media and support artists who are doing positive lyrics and make that be the hype as well. You know what I mean? And we give thanks for the Lagazee and the whole team, for really supporting the whole Asaase Radio family. And just, we continue to send out the music and keep the community engaged. Anytime you need me for interview, you don't know we're there.
All right, Baka. Thank you so much for your time and space.
Easy.
Enough love.
Yeah, man.